Hello, my name is Ben Mulligan, former professional boxer. Uh, Trained under Pat Barrett for 10 years. Started out on the Black Flash promotion shows. And when I started out here, there was only obviously, Brian Hughes had retired, all the fighters from the gym. I think Scott Quigg was the last fighter. Then obviously when he left, it was just all amateurs. There was no pros here. And then Matthew Ryan was the first to turn pro. And then it was me, Zelfa and Lyndon. We was the next. So before when I turned pro, Pat hadn't started the promotions yet. He was just in the process of it. He kept telling us all look, you're all gonna have a platform. Do you know what I mean? When you turn over. And then I think the first show was October 2013, if I'm right. And I was meant to box on that, make my debut. I perforated my eardrum sparring with Zelfa in here 4 weeks before. So I never got to box on that one. And then I made my debut in the January after that. And then, yeah, it was just everything he said he was going to do, he done. And he gave us all a platform. He was shows all the time. Obviously, we was all in it. It was a good crop. We had from only being a few pros in here, like myself, Matthew Ryan, Zelfa, Lyndon. Obviously, Lyndon stayed amateur for a bit longer. Yeah, within a year or two, there was a good crop of fighters, and we was all boxing on the same show. At the time, we didn't really probably appreciate it as much, but when I look back now, it was good days. And the way Pat done it, he just done everything that he said. Training under Pat Barrett, obviously everyone knows what Pat's like. He's full on. Do you know what I mean? He's more than just a trainer. He cares. And I built a relationship with Pat where we're like family. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I've knew Pat for years and years from being young. When obviously I used to come in here when I was a kid watching the pros training, when I was still an amateur. So Pat's always been that guy where he looks out for you, and he's always there to help people. Do you know what I mean? Boxed all your typical journeyman, Christine Lake, Matthew C. Riot. Like I say, I wasn't really in them 50-50 fights that I was just getting onto. Do you know what I mean? But I still, I boxed different opponents and respect to all of them, whether they're journeyman or not. I still, do you know what I mean? Every fight off coming through in the pros, they played a part. You know what I mean? You start off boxing them, and then obviously you build it up. But yeah, like I say, I just as I was getting onto that level to step it up, I had to stop boxing. Black Flash Promotions helped me in the journey, helped us all in the journey, because we was getting regular fights. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, as everyone knows, it's hard at the minute. Boxing's hard if you've not got a big backing behind you, if you've not got television behind you, if you're not with the big promoters, then it's hard to stay busy and to fight regular. Where Pat gave us all a platform where he was putting shows on every 8 weeks. Do you know what I mean? And one thing that I want to mention, also credit to Pat, the amount of losses I seen Pat was taking, and because he's so resilient, he just carried on, and he'd have a big loss, and then he'd be already planning for the next show in 8 weeks. Do you know what I mean? When people was thinking he was down and out. So massive credit to Pat, because obviously you've seen what he's done now with the likes of Zelfa, Lyndon, other fighters that are not from our gym that started out on the Black Flash shows that are now boxing for world titles, British titles. Just seen Marcel Braithwaite, he just won a British, obviously from Wayne Smith's gym. He started out on the Black Flash shows. I think Black Flash Promotions a good platform for upcoming fighters, because again, Pat's putting on regular shows. He's putting on shows. Also, he's not just putting on shows in Manchester. He's putting shows on all over. Do you know what I mean? For different, different cities for different fighters. We've had shows in Newcastle, Wales, Liverpool, Manchester. So, of course, yeah, and they're always, good shows. Any fighter, like I say, that's not got a big backing with TV, then you've got to build up it's the hard way on the small hall. But like I say, Pat's, he always makes sure that the opponents are right. He makes sure everything's right. So it's a good platform for everyone.
I don't know why he's put it. You call him. I've been calling him for weeks and months. You know, right? Yeah. To help me, yeah. As soon as Zelfa calls you, just say,
you got me calling it out now.
BAM! Straight away.
Fuck off, Pat.
Come on.
You got me calling it out.
Right? Just look where you are. Let's look at it.
Yeah, I mean, the only loss, like I say, was to Jamani Kamara, and it's one of them. Listen, fighters, a lot of people like to make excuses and go on about, you know, if things go wrong, then, especially when fighters get beat, this was wrong, that was wrong. But listen, everyone knew I was struggling with the weight bad. I had issues with the weight, hence why I failed the brain scan, because I always say to people now, I probably caused that myself from the years of dehydrating my body, not doing the weight right, taking too much fluid out, and what I done against that Jamani there was just suicidal. I can say it now because I'm retired and I've not got a licence with a board, but it was just stupid. Do you know what I mean? It just never ever should have been in the ring that night, and that's nobody else's fault but mine. It was the same day weigh-in, and if I was going to go into detail, I took £11 off that week. The night before the fight, I was in Pure Gym on a treadmill for an hour and a half, and then the day of the fight, I was on a treadmill again for an hour and a half, weighing in on the same day. It's just suicide. When I look back now, I just think to myself, wow, what was you doing? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, obviously, you know what it's like when you're weighing on a day. You're weighing in at 4 o'clock. I was probably in the ring at 8, 9 o'clock. So you've got no time to rehydrate. I'm just fortunate with that fight now, looking back, that nothing bad did happen. Do you know what I mean? I don't even really remember that fight. It was mad. I just remember feeling, like I say, I was just dead at the weighed in. Went and got something to eat, obviously tried rehydrating, but you've not got enough time in 4 hours. And then when I did get in the ring, I don't remember walking out or anything. I just remember getting in the ring, and then I got it with a shot. I've never been down amateur or pro. I got it, and I've just gone down, took a knee, got straight back up, and then the referees let the fight go on, and then I've gone to throw, and it's like I fell over. It's like I just lost balance. I had nothing in me. Referee just waved the fight off. Obviously, I was devastated. It was hard, but I should never have lost that fight. And again, I'm not taking anything away from the opponent, because he got in there and done what he had to do. But I beat myself that night. Do you know what I mean? And then it was a bit of a bad time, because then the week later I had a car accident, broke the collarbone, it put me out for a year. So I was out for a year then, and then I bounced back then, boxed the following. That was this. I got beat, I think it was October or November, and then I boxed the following November. Come back, knocked the kid out in a round, so I got back to winning ways, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was one of them. It's obviously, like I say, I don't. If I would have got in there and I was 100% and the better man won on the night, I'd say, look, I just got beat off the better man. I know it was a bad night, but that wasn't me in the ring that night. I still like to. It kills me to say to people, when people say, how many fights did you have? What was your record? I just feel like just lying and saying, I had 10 fights and I was 10-0, but I had 11 fights, lost one, so it's down on paper.
Oh, there, that right-hander from Suarez will nick you the round when they're close. And Arthur goes to the body, and Suarez is down.
3,
Arthur
4,
turns it
5,
round with
6,
a single shot.
7,
And is Suarez going to recover?
9,
He's not.
10.
Lyndon Arthur from nowhere pulls it out of the bag.
Yeah, Lyndon becoming a world champion. Zelfa, obviously what Zelfa's won a Commonwealth. He's won an Intercontinental, and he'll be fighting for a world title soon. So yeah, it's great, because like I say, we all started out together. Do you know what I mean? I remember when we was all just amateurs with nothing, and I've seen the journey, especially with Lyndon and Zelfa. I've been there with him. Do you know what I mean? All the way through it. So it's just great, innit, to see your mates, someone that you've come up with, and to see what they're doing now. Do you know what I mean? And I believe that Zelfa will definitely win a world title. Obviously, Lyndon's just won a world title, so I just think, just buzzing for him. Do you know what I mean? They're my mates at the end of the day, so it's just good to see. And also for Pat as well. Pat deserves it, because he's brought them from nothing. Without they wouldn't be where they are if it weren't for him. Do you know what I mean? So and the gym, it's just everyone in the gym. It's just good for everyone. Advice I give to young boxers is just live it, because it's a short career. Listen to your coach, and you've just got to live it properly. You know, don't take no shortcuts, because if you want to get to the top in this game, you can't take no shortcuts. doesn't come. Obviously, we all need a bit of luck, but it comes from hard work and discipline, and that's the key word, discipline.